People, how is it going this beautiful fucking Saturday evening? Everyone's getting ready to party, drink some booze, and I've got my blue blockers on and I'm not tall partying. I'm in the boring, Mr. Holistic of Harry. Actually had a really cool day, not gonna lie, and I'm come on here literally to promote again my favourite medicine of all time, aged urine, and talk to you a little bit more about it as I unlearn, relearn, and go around 25,000 times with how powerful this medicine is. It will never get old. I will never stop talking about it. I don't think anyone that experiences the magic of aged urine should ever stop talking about it, ever. But do you know what I like about duality? I like not using aged urine. I'm a plastic bottle too, which I carry around with me. So don't be dogmatic, number one. Glass is best, but plastic is much better. You'd think, right, plastics, it's going to leach the plastics in aged urine. Yes, it does. However, the medicine is so fucking powerful that the plastics doesn't matter. Almost doesn't matter. You will feel so fucking amazing. Yeah, it's not ideal, I admit, but you do what you can. Anyway, how do you even get started to what I want to talk about? It's definitely aged urine, obviously, and my experience. Oh yeah, what I love about all the things I learn is I am not perfect. I go on and off, sometimes age for a long time and not use it for entire days. At the beginning of my journey into fresh urine and aged urine, I recognised the power of aged urine. I was a bit, this is confession, you might find interesting, I was a bit needy for the aged urine. Now, as in I relied on it too heavily. It was my one healing modality that allowed me to get away with crappy eating, not looking after my health, not grounding enough, not fasting long enough, not intermittent fasting. Now I've come to a better place. Now, I respect everyone else's journey. If you use it that way, fine. But now I practice not using it for periods of time and then coming back to it. Therefore, I get the benefit of seeing just how powerful some of these healing modalities are. So I'll on to you guys. So, for example, another one, grounding. I haven't had the opportunity to do that for a while. I've been sporadic to do that every single day for 1.5 to 2 years, like 2 hours a day minimum. And now I'm lucky if I do 40 minutes a day. Sometimes many days and weeks I'll go without doing it. I wasn't actually allowed in my Vipassana retreat to ground either. It was illegal. I was told off for grounding. That's interesting. Anyway, what I love about that stuff is coming back into the flow. So let's talk about aged urine and a bit of the scientific mechanisms, some of which I wrote in the book, but now I'm going to I'll talk about things I'm going to put in the next book too, on things that I've learned since the first book on aged urine, of why I believe, because there's a lot of controversy, not that it works, there's a lot of controversy of why it's so fucking powerful, urine. By the way, I'm wearing blue blockers in case anyone wants to know, because that's not sunlight, to protect my eyes from, they're blue blocking glasses, they're not because I want to look fucking cool, it's because I want to remember my dreams at night. If you haven't seen my early videos, check it out on my YouTube. If you want to remember your dreams, one of the reasons why you're not remembering your dreams, I haven't even got to the topic yet, fucking hell, my brain's crazy. One of the reasons why you are not remembering your dreams at night, because you're human like me, that I figured out, is because you're looking at blue lights even for like 5 seconds at night time. As soon as sun goes down, do not look at a blue light screen from your laptop, TV, cell phone, computer. If you're going to look at them after sundown, put these on for the entire duration. Do not look at one, let your eyes bear to blue light. All of a sudden, you'll be remembering your dreams at night. Your quality of your sleep will go up too as a result. So anyway, aged urine today. I saved this for 2 days, and it's about 2 weeks old, guys. 2-3 weeks old. In Vipassana, I was collecting it and not using it. I wasn't allowed to use it as urine again on the Vipassana. I would have anyway, but I just didn't want to do it. So I saved it, and I drank it. I drank some. In my book, I put the 8 ways to get it into your system, and there are 8 ways to get into your system. All are brilliant because it's all perfect medicine. You can drink it, you can put it up your nose, you can put it under your tongue, you can put it topically, you can put it on your ears, you can put it in your eyes, you can put it up your bum. And I missed one off. I always miss one off. Anyway, yeah, that's the way. Anyway, this one I decided to drink a little bit of it after I had my 1 meal day, which wasn't great food. And I was grounding outside. I felt quite good. I was grounding, about half an hour to grounding. I thought, okay, my digestion's gone, and now's my time to drink some of this. So I saved it up for 2 days, and it's like 2 weeks old, and take a little sip. I know it's going to do something. So I took it, and I was like, within seconds, the first thing you notice, breath slows down. Breath slows down. Very key to health. So whatever it was at 14 breaths a minute, it goes down to 10 breaths a minute. And it continues for the duration of the medicine being in there for up to 24 hours. So it slows the breath down. One of the keys. But why is it slowing the breath down? Well, this is uber. This is not conjecture. This is what I believe, and I know to be true. Aged urine, number one, why it works. It's got negative ions in it. And structured water, we know, has negative ions in it, like a distilled water from a machine, rainwater. Is structured water, has negative ion in it, has a negative charge, which is going to get that negative charge and pull out all the positive toxicity, right? Well, there is such a thing as structured water called fresh urine too. So fresh urine's a bit more structured than machine-made distilled water unless you do things to it. Then there's the aged urine. So from day 4 onwards, aged urine gets really powerful, and what's going on is the urine is becoming structured all by itself. By magic, poof! You put it in a plastic bottle, you put it in a spray bottle, you put it in a glass bottle, poof, Bob's your uncle. What's happening is the structuring of the urine is becoming not from fresh urine, kind of quite good structured, to extremely powerful, uber fucking super structured. Do you understand how powerful it is? Uber super fucking structured. I mean that. It not only does the negative ion count increase, that's what happens when something gets more structured, the negative ion counts increase, but it's more than that, guys. It's not just that. It's the clusterization of the negative ions. I'm trying to explain to you a bit. The clusterization is becoming super tight. So that's what, when we get structured, it's not just increasing the amounts of negative ions, or that is going up, the more structured it gets. It's the structurization, the small clusters, because big clusters of negative ions you don't want. They're ineffective, null and void. The tinier the cluster of negative ions, the more structure comes, and aged urine is super fucking uber structured water. Now, what does that mean, and why is it such a profound shift in consciousness and slowing down my breath per minute? Well, it's uber super fucking structured distilled water. As soon as it gets into my blood, as soon as I drunk it, goes into my small intestines, liver, and then to my bloodstream, it's thinning out the blood majorly. Yeah. Those negative ion charge. That's what the red blood cells need, negative ions. Now the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood is just increased. The clumpiness that we all have in our bloodstream from unhealthy diet and drinking, even if we do things good, just from like being next to cars, taking in air, shit like that, it's clumping our blood. Well, that thin blood gets clumped out. The red blood cells are now going in single file. They're extremely negatively charged, plus the clusterations are perfect, which means now that they've become the ultimate tool for like kicking out toxins. We all know that our cells are made up of structured water, easy water. Well, now we're putting uber super fucking structured water into the cells. What does that do? It completely, and it's such a strong negative charge. Fresh urine's got a negative charge, fruit juice has got a negative charge, distilled water, rainwater's got a negative charge. This has got an extremely powerful negative charge, aged urine, and the longer it goes on, the more powerful it gets in terms of its negative charge. So it goes in there, and that's one reason why you get the whoosh, because it's just going in there and cleaning out all the crap that you know, not on a slow thing. Like there's a lot of slow activations like there. Sunlight, wonderful, I fucking love sunlight, but it takes 10 hours of sunlight for you to really optimize the function of it. Not to mean you don't get too much sunshine, I'm just making a point. These are all slow. You should do 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, sleep around, all this stuff, but they're slow coming up. When you take a little bit of extra, like I did today, it wasn't a slow coming up, it was a shift in consciousness, a profound shift in consciousness. That is what the Buddha even said. Yes, the Buddha. The Buddha said, and I'm going to put it in my book too, there's 3 quotes from the Buddha's early scriptures where he said that aged urine is the medicine, and that's my bias, yes. However, I know that it works, and I know the Buddha was a fucking crazy, well, I believe the Buddha, it was enlightened. Even if he wasn't, he was a very wise being. So if he read it, it completely makes sense now. Anyway, the shift in consciousness from aged urine is very profound, and that's one of the reasons why is the extremely uber super structured negative charge is getting in there, cleansing the crowd system. I actually don't think that could be that does happen, but I think the whoosh comes from something else. I think the whoosh comes from, we know from red light therapy that infrared light structures water and inside your vessel, or even structures water in distilled water. Look into Gerald Pollock's work. I'm going to connect the dots with Gerald Pollock's here. So, structured water is more viscous and runny, right? It's more viscous and runny. And water is unstructured, is thicker. Now, aged urine is very, extremely viscous and runny because it's not just structured water, it's uber super fucking structured water. So it's very runny and viscous and smooth. What does that mean? It means when that water gets into the cells and the ATP production phase, the Krebs cycle, one of the cycles to produce ATP, and I hope you guys know ATP is the foundation of mitochondrial disease is a big problem. Mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, which makes the ATP motor run. You know, we've got to have thriving mitochondria. In one stage cycle, ATP has got like a spinning cycle, and the quicker your spinning motor spins for your ATP in the Krebs cycle, the more ATP you'll produce. Well, super uber structured water of aged urine, what it does is it goes in there, and because it's so smooth and viscous, it allows the ATP motor to turn even faster than normal. See, the clumpier your blood, the clumpier your water, the less structured you are as a human being because you're not looked after your health. And one of the keys to health, it's obvious, people that got disease are very unstructured. Every human has structure inside the water, it's structured water inside them. The degree to which you have structured water, whether it's uber super fucking, will determine your health, which is why aged urine is really powerful and why you should be doing all these therapies. But anyway, the uber super aged urine gets in there, the structured water, and it's so smooth and viscous that it gets into the phase of the Krebs cycle in ATP, and that spinning nanometer that ATP needs to create ATP, the mitochondria needs to create ATP, it just, because it's so smooth, it fucking lights it up. This is the reason why I think it fucking lights up, and it magnifies the production of ATP to a ridiculous level. Now I know it's pulling out a lot of crap, but that's not the immediate effect in the shift in consciousness where it comes from. I think the shift in consciousness comes from your ATP, your mitochondria, just getting lit up. Ultimately, aged urine, in my opinion, is mitochondrial medicine. I love the focus on mitochondria when people talk about it, and sunlight and mitochondria, and red light therapy lights up mitochondria, and fruit lights up, fasting lights up mitochondria, and fasting and grounding lights up mitochondria. But ultimately, for me, aged urine, what it does is it lights up the mitochondria, allows that the Krebs cycle, ATPase spinning thing to go. So now, whoosh, you've got ATP firing at all angles. Your ATP mitochondrial function will never be healthier than when you do something like take a zip. You take a zip of aged urine, like a zip, and even just a couple of weeks old, and then boom, Bob's your uncle. That's where the energy comes from. You've just fucking gone to the, look at this, the root cause of disease is the mitochondria, the powerhouse. We've got trillions of cells. Each of our trillions of cells has 3 to 10,000 mitochondria. Mitochondria give us the energy to create ATP for us, oxygen, ATP, and all that shit. So if you can get to the mitochondria, health, what aged urine does most profoundly, in my opinion, in my experience, doing loads of shit for years now, and coming back to aged urine again, is it lights up the mitochondria to a ridiculous level. With use it, I'm quite into experiments. I did some up on an interesting experiment. Doesn't clean up the bloodstream up the bum. It cleans, lights up your liver, helps your liver out. That's detoxification, and your colon, cleans out the colon fat and regenerates the tissues that have been damaged in the colon from wrong lifestyle and wrong eating over the years. But anyway, yes, that's it. I just wanted to come on literally and say that. Absolutely, Heather. It helps anywhere. This is the rule. I don't mean to sound dogmatic, but wherever it goes, it helps. If you've got ear problems, put it in your ears. If you have problems with smell, put it up your nose. If you have problems in your brain, do urine massage, specific, weak areas, I mean. Have problems there, do urine massage over the temples, maybe not the head, like the aged urine, because it will smell, but do the temples, yep, definitely that will seep in, and up the nose, gets into the brain. Also, drinking it gets into the brain too. Not as much as, obviously, direct and there. But, yes, and if you've got it through the eye problems, put it through the eyes. If you've got problems with your colon cancer, and you've got garbage from when you were kids, and we all have, then put it up your bum. If you've got a specific organ, like the kidneys, for example, turn around, get your hand, you know where the kidneys are, at the back of the base, of a bit above the perineum on the back side, right, and start rubbing it over, because it seeps into the bloodstream, but it also seeps into the organs. You've got the liver, and directly massage it over the liver. I mean, the heart, you can do a lot of things with this medicine. That's why I fucking wrote a book on it, and I'm writing a second book on it, because it's magic, as Jimmy fucking well knows. He's got way more urine stuff than me, right? So, yeah, that's it. Aged urine, God's medicine, the medicine of the Buddha, your medicine. You haven't got around to trying. What the fuck? What are you waiting for? There is no right time. You want to be healthy? You want to be happy? You want to be full of energy? You want to be like me? Yeah. Maybe not like me. Everyone's different, got different masteries, but you'll certainly be the best version of yourself, which is fucking awesome. You need to get on aged urine. And the good thing is, it's fucking free. You pee every day, sit it in a bottle, wait a couple of weeks, do your experiments, and remember, aged urine will profoundly shift your consciousness. Fresh urine, maybe not so much. If you're a clean individual, probably not. Still do fresh urine, just won't change you as much. This one's the one, because it's not just structured water, it's super uber fucking structured water with lots of negative ions, but more importantly, the negative ions, and more importantly, tackles the root cause of disease. The root cause of disease doesn't mask over. It's not like a tiny healing modality that has like subtle effects. I'm not going to name any healing modalities that have subtle effects, but this is like a very obvious one, and it will blow up. And I won't stop talking about it until it. None of us, hopefully, Nature will stop talking about it until it fucking blows up and it becomes completely normal. Because that's the one. There's so many that we can do in this world, but you get to the root, and tackle. Have the most profound shift in consciousness. Yeah, I'll stick to this one because we've been programmed from birth. Urine is fucking disgusting. We need to wash our hands after the toilet. Wrong. Urine is cleaner than the tap water. You know, we've been programmed so hard because with sun gazing and urine therapy, urine therapy, because these two are the top. That's why the programming is there. The programming is there for the healing modalities that they're most scared of. The elites that can transform health. Sun gazing, they're scared of it, so they tell you not to look at the sun because it's too transformational. Also, urine, and even more than that, aged urine. On that note, thanks for watching. Done. Have a lovely Saturday.